Hey Lynn, this is a video response to your Feed the Trolls or Don't Feed the Trolls video post on your lynnterry.tv. And as you know, I've been online since, I don't know, the mid-90s. I can't remember if it was 95, 96, I don't know, something like that. I first got online. Shortly thereafter, I built a site at GeoCities. You know, that's where everybody built their sites back then. And I was creating pages, and what I loved about the internet is the ability to share your thoughts, your views, your opinions. It was so liberating and freeing to have a voice, and I liked that part about the internet, having a voice. And so I blogged at GeoCities and, you know, would create all these new pages with all these things that appealed to me. And in 1999, I got my own domain name, and I moved my GeoCities site over to my own domain name that I've had since 1999, still running, still active site, and shared my views. Well, of course, we didn't have blogging platforms back then, so I was blogging before it was even known and easy. I would update and create HTML pages every day and have to update the navigation structure or use, you know, include codes to, you know, change the navigation on one page and, you know, all those sorts of things. And I was learning HTML at that time. And it was, you know, and I loved sharing my views. But very quickly, and it wasn't very long after I got my own domain name, I would get these emails, hateful emails, calling me every name under the book because I had as many children as I did, and I was called horrible things because I had several children and my beliefs on children and things like that. And it would upset me. I mean, I'd be crying and sobbing, and I couldn't believe anybody would be that mean because I was, you know, raised in a very conservative Midwest and conservative by nature. And then I was raised, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I knew, and I would certainly hope, that there wasn't anybody mean enough that the things that they wrote to me in comments on my blog or in emails they sent me through contact through my blog, I would hope that no one would be that mean, vulgar, and rude to say those things to me to my face. And so it took me quite a while to build up a thick skin and to learn how to deal with it. I mean, at first I was just flabbergasted. I didn't even know how to deal with it. I was so upset. My husband was mad, you know, because somebody was, you know, like basically attacking me for what I believed, which I believe we all have freedom of speech. I love that about this country. I love that about the internet. I think it's great. It's great that everybody can have a voice. What I still to this day find puzzling, and obviously my website is for a specific demographic. You know, it clearly states that. You can see that right away that I'm talking about a specific topic related to a certain specific of people who believe a certain thing, and you know, and it's meant to be an encouragement to people who have those same beliefs or might be looking or whatever. What I find puzzling to me is we all have freedom of speech. We can all have our own beliefs. Why would anybody go seek out those with opposing beliefs simply to bash them? I don't see where that is supposed to be encouraging, edifying, helpful at all, because it's not. I don't know if they're thinking that by them belittling me and calling me horrible, foul language names and all of that kind of stuff, that I'm going to go, oh, well, you know, if you look at it that way, well then of course, why don't I just eschew everything that I believe to follow your opposite belief because, gosh, you've made such a convincing argument to me. You know, it's stupidity, it's ignorance, it's hate speech. You know, and I can post on my blog the things that I believe in, that I believe are true, without bashing somebody else. You know, I have the right to state what I believe and feel what I do, but I don't do so in a way that I'm calling out everybody else and going to their opposing view blogs and telling them they're wrong and I'm right, and, you know, that serves no useful purpose. So I like to think that, you know, I'm out there, you know, blogging and sharing to encourage people, to help people in some way, those who, you know, find a connection, with all of that. And the same is true whether it's on my personal blog or my business blog. Not everybody's going to necessarily agree with the methodology or my view or my take on, how I do things. That's okay, And if somebody posts a comment that they don't agree with what I've posted and they make a valid argument or opposing view in a polite way, I'm all for that. I will absolutely approve that, and let's discuss it, or I will at least let the comment on there. It's like, okay, I'm cool with that. I can agree to disagree. That's fine. It's when they get mean, nasty, and ugly that I do not allow those comments, and it's for this very reason that I never, ever, ever allow comments to freely post on my blog. If they have one approved comment, then their comments will come in. But the first time they post, I monitor it. I, make sure it's not linking to some, questionable site or something like that they're trying to link to. And then after that, if that it looks like they're doing okay, then, I'll approve the comment, and then after that, they can post freely. So I don't moderate every single comment. I guess it's part of being online. It's part of putting yourself out there. You're opening yourself up for risk that people aren't going to agree with you. And I can handle that. I just can't always handle easily, better now than I used to, those that need to be mean and rude about it. That's the part that still puzzles me, and I don't understand the why. I have to assume that those people must be very sad people in need of something. I think they're probably miserable, depressed, have very low self-esteem. You would have to be to think that you're getting exacting some sort of vengeance or self-satisfaction by putting somebody else down. I don't see that as positive, encouraging, or helpful for that person. Certainly not for the person that you're posting to. So I try to follow the philosophy: if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I think the world would be a better place probably if we did that, or if we needed to say something in a positive, edifying sort of comment. There's ways to say things like, hey, like we do on your masterminding group. It's like people bring up their websites and are like, we don't, that you need to change the font size or the color or whatever. It's constructive criticism meant to help them get to a different level. There's a difference between offering constructive criticism that, some people may or may not take that all that well, but we're not, doing that under those circumstances to, of course, never to be mean. But when you go to somebody's blog post and you read something and you just absolutely can't stand it and it just makes you mad, well, first of all, if you're mad when you write a blog comment or you're trying to comment, you need to stop and take a step back, just like you said you do. When somebody writes something that upsets you, you take a step back before you reply. The same thing should go before anybody replies on another blog, especially when it's something they don't agree with. Stop and, calm down a little bit and think about your words, because once you put them out there, you can't take them back. And, we all know that words really do hurt. They really can sting. And sometimes you think you're really putting the jab at the other person, and really it only makes yourself look like an idiot. So, to be honest. So, anyway, now I have, I moderate the comments. That's how I handle them. If I see something that comes in that's obviously spam, I just delete it. If it's something that's just out of spite, hatefulness, meanness, there is not an encouraging, valid, common sense, level-headed comment in part of what they've written, I just delete it. And I figure, you know what? This is like my home on the web. It's like you're coming into my virtual living room, whether it's my business blog or my personal blog. And if you would not say that to my face, then don't say it on my blogs and my comments. I have to, it's like I'm all about integrity, and I'm not trying to sweep things under the rug. If they have a valid complaint or issue with me for some reason, okay, let's discuss it. But a lot of what I see is just people just trying to be mean. And I don't see how that's edifying for any of my readers that come along. It certainly isn't contributing any value to the thread. I just delete it. And that's how I handle it. So Anyway, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.